pretty much right after I got here, 86, I did a new play called Living on Salvation Street by a playwright from San Francisco, and I played Wilma, and she was a teenage girl who wanted to join the army and sang Elvis Presley songs. So pretty much exactly like Lisa Simpson. There I was, playing this girl, Wilma, and it was a great part. I loved it. That play was directed by Dorothy Lyman, who was on Mama's Family, which is how I might have had to read for that role for the playwright. But anyway, that's how I got it. One of the 17 people who saw that play was this woman named Bonnie Pietila. And Bonnie at the time, she was a casting director. And a year later, when they were casting The Simpsons, the little bumpers that we did on the Tracy Ullman show, Bonnie said, I know who should play Lisa Simpson. What's interesting is they actually brought me in to read for Bart first. But immediately, within seconds, they said, oh, no, no. That's great. Thanks, no, you sound too much like a girl. But he has a sister. I'm like, okay. So they showed me a picture of Lisa Simpson, and this is when we were really ugly, the original drawings.
It was like basically Matt's drawing.
Yeah, it was. And Matt Groening will always be the first one to tell you I don't know how to draw, but essentially he took his life and hell template, that style, and that's what The Simpsons were. But I read for Lisa, and I remember I'd never done, like I said, never done voiceover before, and quite frankly had no interest in doing voiceover. This did not present itself to me like another avenue toward world domination. I just thought, oh God, okay, whatever. I always say I was arrogant, but I wasn't stupid. And I was an opportunist, so I trusted my agent, and if he said, you should go, it's a new network.
Had anyone ever said to you before with that voice that it would be great for a cartoon?
Never.
Never?
No. And yeah, never. And I think because I had been teased so relentlessly for it as a kid, I honestly never considered it an asset. Certainly not in that regard. I always thought in some ways it was something that I had to overcome, at least the distinctiveness of it. I wasn't someone who, I just didn't blend, So I go in to read, I read for Bart, I read for Lisa, and I know I sound really young to begin with. She's 8, so I don't know what else to do because I have no idea what I'm doing. They showed me a picture of her, and they said, she's his bratty little sister. And I thought, well, I've been that. So, whatever. And again, I think because, this wasn't on my radar as something I really wanted to get, because I had a very specific idea from the time I was 6 of what my success would look like. And one of my downfalls was I attached to that version of my success for a very, very, very long time. And anything extra that wasn't part of that original picture was not always welcomed and maybe a little suspect and was maybe going to take me off the path. Instead of having any measure of trust that it's okay that it doesn't happen exactly the way you planned. Why would it? What does anything? But I really, to my earlier comment about being afraid of everything, I think it makes you into wanting to control everything in your environment. And so there was this voiceover job, and I was like, and I think it was only a couple of lines, and really they were sort of thinking looking more for a sound. And I remember it was so long ago, the tape recorder, you had to push play and record to record.
At the same time, right? I remember.
Yeah. and then I got a call back, and I was gonna go read for a mat. And so again, and the room was empty. I remember it wasn't in an office. It was in an empty room that just had a coffee table and a couch. So it wasn't warm and fuzzy. And I remember I met Matt and I read for him and he didn't laugh, and I thought, well, I didn't get that job. But I don't care, because I don't even know what the job is. So, and then the next day or shortly after, my agent called and said, Yeardley, you got the job. And I said, oh, that's great. The job is what? We're doing what?